What's up, Faiā starters? Holy cow, I'm still on a high from that Tony Robbins event. It's nuts. A lot of the triggers and the things that help to change your state, they're working. I gotta say, we're on this challenge. There's a group of us on Facebook. We are doing things to help with our momentum. And it's interesting because part of my Faiā pack, the accountability mastermind group, we actually, our values are patience, persistence, and momentum. Now, in today's Faiā video, I want to share with you just my thought for the day, which comes around vision and intentions, right? And desire. So I was actually listening to Think and Grow Rich, the audiobook. You can actually find it on Spotify. And in there's actually a whole chapter on desire. And when I was at the Tony Robbins event, there was a lot around, setting your desire intention, and the emotionalization of that is actually part of getting that desire to a red hot state, right? Faiā starters. And the importance of that is that it helps to move you, right? The more hot your idea and obsession about a thing, that is what helps give you clarity. Right? That's why I always say it will come, because that faith in whatever it is that you're achieving, by focusing intently on it, you may not have all the how, but the how will come, right? You don't need to have a lot of the time, you don't even need to have all the answers up front. You just need to set an intention, get some specificity into it, and boom, you go. So when it comes to groups and communities, a lot of this actually relates to the type of work that I do and the type of work that I help other businesses do when it comes to building community around products, services, or ideas. And with that, it's that desire coupled with vision. Vision really starts from that spark of imagination around desire. And so when that comes from one person, that becomes the fire or the flame, right? And that is what attracts people around, right? That's what attracts the community. Now, of course, when people come around a fire, they may not necessarily be connected in meeting, but it starts to bring out things, stories, shared experiences, those type of things. And that's why I love the analogy of fire in general, because within the dark, when fire blazes, it just lights everybody up, right? And the more wood that you put in, and the wood can be, further ideas, further intentions, it helps the fire to blaze even more brightly, right? So with communities, really, my whole thing that I want to do over the next decade really is simplify a lot around community management and just community building in general. There are a lot of different segments to building community, which involves marketing, content creation, copywriting, visuals, governance, a whole bunch of things, right? But when it comes to sort of getting momentum, it is so important to have a desire and vision for that, right? If you look at the best creators and leaders and influencers, they have something about them that propels them forward, and then that attracts other people as well. They may not have all the answers, right? Elon Musk, great example. Some of the things that he's come up with, crazy ideas, but it all started from, some of his earlier ventures like PayPal and whatnot. A lot of hard work put in there, but he's got such crazy ideas that it borderlines crazy genius. Right? Because I don't know if you've seen the recent interview with him and on the Joe Rogan show, he's got a lot of people have given flack about that to him. Stock price fell for Tesla as a result of that interview, or not too soon after. But I still respect the guy. He is just on another plane. And when somebody who has imagination, focus, and vision, at the time, as things are being developed, because they are so ahead in the future, all the people who are in the present, who may not be fully aware or understanding of that person's vision, they might get frustrated because they're not on the same wavelength, right? So there's a lot of trust and faith that is involved, one in that person, and also in themselves as they're potentially following. And community comes whereby those folks will start to interact with each other and develop relationships around that fire, that flame, right? So it's just so important to be very clear on your own desires and intentions, because that is what sparks the imagination and helps set your vision, right? And as you start making decisions in your life, there's this knock-on effect that allows that vision to start forming and get clear for everybody else. There are other things that I'll get into that revolve around sort of understanding where people sit in terms of like nature, seasons, elements that will allow you to also simplify, like, you know, team building, and for those very early founding blocks of building a community as well. All right, there is some structure involved. But with that, remember, as always, through patience and persistence, it will come.